The 2020 NFL season has officially started. We didn't think it was going to happen. This has been a weird year so far, but it's here. Week 1 is complete, and it's been an awesome time, for me at least. Football is finally back. This is the Tabor Gridiron podcast, here with my son, Isaac. I'm Steven. And, well, we're Bears fans. We want to talk about the Bears, the struggles of the Bears, our frustrations of the Bears, and some of the good things. But we're football fans, and we like talking about the different players that play their position to the best that it can be played, and the elite players, and the teams that are doing good. And so we're going to talk some football, and we're going to talk some Bears as well. Let's start out, Isaac, though. Week 1, NFL season kicks off Thursday night, Chiefs, Texans. Tell me about it.
It was one of the most highly anticipated games in the entire season because it's two of the youngest and some of the best quarterbacks dueling it out to see who is on top. It was honestly a very high-stake game and very entertaining to watch.
It was pretty entertaining. Now, you got two of the younger quarterbacks. You got two of the highest-paid quarterbacks in the league with Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, and they did pretty much deliver. Now, I would say the Chiefs kind of played how I was expecting them to. Patrick Mahomes wasn't like off the charts amazing, but he's just good and he's fun to watch. Their rookie, their running back, Edwards-Helaire, was amazing. And he was so fun to watch for a rookie. It's just a great team to be on. If I was going to be a rookie, definitely want to throw me with the Chiefs, who are just fast-paced and have such skill and such talent. And the coaching from Andy Reid, just all around was great. I think the Texans struggled without having Hopkins. They got rid of their star receiver, and I feel like they really did struggle. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Hopkins was a key player in that team, and without him, the whole, figuratively speaking, ecosystem was thrown out of whack. And a lot of the players acted and played differently without him in their area.
I agree. And again, overall, it was a fun game. It started out the season. It started it off, and we are fully underway. Week 1 has completed. Okay, Bears and Lions. Now, this is a divisional game. All these divisional games are always, well, for me anyway, they're a little slower. They're a little more brutal. They're a little more each team knows each other really well, and they know what buttons to push. They know how to really defend and to step up, and a lot of defenses happen, in these divisional games. The Bears, I don't know about you, Isaac. Like, I was so frustrated. I was so disappointed. We waited so long for football to start. Bears get the ball, and what do? 3 runs up the middle, and then they punt. Oh, man, I was just like, dude, come on. Like, we waited how long for you to play, and that's what you do? Nothing's different, pretty much. And I think they struggled most of that game.
Yeah, I think they did. They did not live up to expectations. And a lot of the players didn't even act as they usually do. Khalil Mack was out of the spotlight. Allen Robinson did fairly well, but wasn't as good as his previous form. And Mitchell Trubisky, where do I even start?
Well, let's start. Okay, Mitchell Trubisky, I'd say he struggled. Like, what? I mean, all right, start. What about Trubisky?
Yeah, I think he really struggled in the fact of his throws and his judgment was not exactly on target. When he would throw a ball, it did not exactly look like he was really judging that play in the way it should have been from a regular quarterback. I mean, most of the time it didn't really look like he was throwing it to anybody in the vicinity.
Now, Nick Foles is on our team now. Some people were excited to get him. Some people weren't. I'm happy that we have him. We all thought he was going to be starting. He didn't start. Trubisky gets the start. Foles is the backup. Now, you looking at the end of the game, fourth quarter comes around, but let's eliminate the fourth quarter right now. You got Foles sitting on the bench and Trubisky playing the way that he was playing. What are your thoughts? What's happening? Are you like, hey, throw Foles in? Foles should have started.
Yes, I think Foles should have started. And he doesn't even have to play for the full game just to kind of get that momentum going, especially in the way Trubisky was playing. The momentum wasn't exactly on target.
So I like the fact that Trubisky did start because in my mind, and I sit here and look at, Foles was brought in. Trubisky really didn't have a whole lot of pressure put on him last year, in a sense of he was the starting quarterback. And how he played. And I think bringing Foles in kind of put fire underneath him where he had to step up and he had to prove himself, because they basically showed him, you're going to be benched if you're not going to meet our expectations and play at an elite level. So if you start Foles and Foles struggles, now Foles struggled last year as a starter, not with the Bears, but if Foles struggles, then what happens? Then you're throwing Trubisky in. And what if Trubisky is just falling apart and having a hard time? Well, then everything's just a big mess. But I think if you start Trubisky has to prove himself. He's either going to play off the charts, he's going to be winning games, or he's going to struggle. And a couple, 2, 3, 4 games down the road, you have to say, you know what, this isn't working, and we're putting Foles in. I feel that Foles is one of the best cleanup quarterbacks in the league. How many times has he been a backup quarterback, come in, whether somebody got hurt or just somebody wasn't meeting the expectations, and he gets put in and he's winning games, he's going into the playoffs, he's winning a Super Bowl. I think Foles is the best at coming off the bench, watching everything that's happening, watching the plays, seeing how everything's being coached, the games are being played, and then stepping in and going, I got this. So I feel like we got Foles in our back pocket if Trubisky struggles. But then, fourth quarter comes around.
Oh, yeah. Fourth quarter came around, and Trubisky caught fire. He was off the charts and playing pretty good, in my opinion. And he was actually doing pretty good, really aiming for those receivers, and had a little bit more judgment than previously.
He was like a light switch turned on in the fourth quarter. Why can't the Bears play like that all the time? Now, they weren't amazing as far as if they were playing a really, really good team. How would things, you have to sit there and look at, did the Bears and Trubisky win this game, or did the Lions fall apart and lose this game? We were playing the Lions. The Lions pretty much, in my opinion, fell apart. The Bears had some really good plays. Trubisky really did step up. If you look at his numbers and his percentages, he was right on par, if not a little bit better, from Mahomes and Watson. Now, I don't necessarily throw him in that same league because Mahomes he's the total package as a quarterback. He's making the right decisions, his arm strength, his accuracy, the plays that he makes, and Watson as well. Trubisky, I feel, is very subpar compared to them. But I liked his performance. He needs to step up, and we need to see what's going to happen and what's going to go on. Next week, Bears
and Giants. I think this is going to be a great game, and it's really going to put the Bears in the spotlight because the Giants are a talented team and they just got Saquon Barkley, so they are going to give a little bit of pressure on the Bears, but it's really going to let their true colors shine and see if they're really as good as they're cracked up to be.
Now, they still have a young quarterback, Daniel Jones. He did okay this last week on the Giants. I want to see the Bears. I don't know that you even heard Khalil Mack's name brought up in this last Bears game. So I want to see the defense really step up. Saquon Barkley kind of struggled in his opening first game as well. I think, from just a football fan, I want to see Saquon really step up and really make some plays and challenge the Bears. That's what I'm looking forward to. All right, week 1, it's officially over, but we had some really good games. We had some unexpected things. Isaac, tell me, we got Tom Brady, Cam Newton.
Yeah, Tom Brady just moved to the Buccaneers. Now, it was an interesting career choice, but I would say it's not the most far-fetched thing I've seen. Anyway, so he did move to the Buccaneers, and as well as a few of his old friends, such as Rob Gronkowski. And since now he's on the Buc, he has a whole new arsenal that he's able to play with. And Mike Evans sure was out the first game, but once he comes in there, then things are going to start happening. Also, the Patriots are feeling now sort of rejected because Tom Brady just went out of them, but they found a new MVP in Cam Newton. Cam Newton left the Carolina Panthers and joined the Patriots. Now, these are all interesting career choices, but I can't say they're all that bad. And a few more highlights from this week's football. So, on Tom Brady's debut with the Buccaneers, they played against the Saints. And while Tom Brady played very good, the Saints won against them with time to spare. Also, Joe Burrow, the number 1 draft pick, debuted on the Bengals and almost made a great comeback. Josh Allen also led the Bills to a well-deserved win and also shared the spotlight with some of his teammates. Also, Aaron Rodgers passed Brett Favre for 4th all-time with 24 touchdown games. And Washington also came back from 17 points down and won with points to spare.
Washington, they won their game. That's amazing against the Eagles.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be an interesting one. The Washington football team. We'll see. Hopefully they come up next year with a new logo, new team name, and it's just off the charts and blows us all away. How about that new stadium for the Rams?
Oh, it is straight up cool. It was so cool. They have a stadium roof, and they have amazing waterfalls, and it cost literally $5 billion to create this stadium.
I think the Bears need a new stadium. I mean, Soldier Field is classic. You can't really eliminate that. But you see some of these new stadiums, and they are just amazing. All right, Bears win week 1, 27-23. Trubisky does step up and shows us what he's got in the fourth quarter. Giants next week. I want to see them step up. They need the win here again. Trubisky needs to continue to prove himself. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. Isaac, love having you here. Love talking football with you. And we're going to watch this week, starting on Thursday Night Football, Browns, Bengals. Could be interesting. We'll see. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
See you, everybody.